Greetings, travelers of conscious. My name is Robert and I am your dream therapist. In this video, I will show you what it means to dream about your crush and with it, what future you can expect if you have a dream like that. If you want me to interpret your dreams and tell you what fate holds for you, do not hesitate to go to the description of this video where you will find all the information so you know how you can contact me. And please, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with your friends on social networks, especially if they have a dream they would like to know its true meaning. And above all, do not hesitate to leave your comment with any questions you have about your own dreams, because I will be more than happy to answer all of them. As I told you, today I will show you one of the real dreams that I had to decode in my private practice. I thank to Sophia who allowed me to show you her own dream, so in this way you could learn what the process of interpreting a dream that talks about the future is like and what you can achieve through this psychosemiotic technique. Sophia dreamed about the boy she liked, whom she met on the way to the place where she used to work, and for the same reason she always found him in the place where Sophia had to take the bus. So far, there was no problem, because Sophia did not dare to speak to him, or rather, she was hoping it was the young man who took the first step, what for her misfortune did not happen. In this way, she began to have a dream that came again and again to her consciousness. Sophia saw herself walking in a beautiful park in whose surroundings she could see different types of trees, from which the most beautiful apples sprouted. And while Sophia tried to reach them and take them, because in her mind she could perceive how delicious they should be, she couldn't do it, because no matter how much she tried to get hold of one of them, her body simply did not agree to go to the trees. It was true. She could walk all over the place, admire the beauty of everything around her, but apples were totally forbidden. That was how, in the midst of her frustration, she could see a person approaching her, something she could do, because the light of the park in which Sophia was like of the most beautiful spring day. And to her surprise, and why not say it, to her happiness, Sophia realized that the person who approached her was just the young man she liked. She knew it because when he approached her, she could see very clearly his face, which was smiling very kindly and inviting her to accompany him for a walk. Sophia doubted what she had to do at that moment, because having that beautiful young man right by her side was something very overwhelming for her. But the young man simply took her hand and smiled again without saying a word. In this way, Sophia walked hand in hand with the handsome young man she had noticed, while feeling her heart racing, simply because now she could perceive the delicious perfume emanating from his body. After which, and for her greatest happiness, the young man took Sophia right to the place that she had so much wanted to access, the trees with apples. In this way, Sophia was finally able to touch the tree, while without thinking, she simply cut one of the apples and took a bite. The sensation of sweetness which arose from the juice of the fruit was something absolutely indescribable to Sophia, for whom the apple was the most delicious thing she had tasted in her entire existence. But even more, it led her to have absolute awareness of everything. It was as if the apple made Sophia become the most powerful and intelligent woman in cosmos, an effect that lost its meaning because when she stopped concentrating on the taste of the fruit, Sophia desperately realized that the young man she liked was no longer at her side. because he had simply vanished. And while at first Sophia tried to run on his search, at one point she stopped, because she had the intuition that if she did, she would no longer have access to the apple tree. In this way, Sophia was paralyzed, because she wanted both, and for that reason, she began to look around the park. At that moment, she was able to see the young man she liked walking again, but to her disappointment, he was now in the company of another young woman. He was going to live exactly towards another of the trees in the park. Faced with this, Sophia felt she was going to cry. She could perceive the pain that gushed from her heart, from the disappointment that it meant for her to see the young man she liked with another girl. But when she watched with greater attention, she realized that in reality, the woman with whom the young man she likes was going through the park was herself, or rather, another version of the same Sophia. And this caused Sophia to fight with all her strength, because she wanted to be in the company of that young man again. And to her happiness, that caused that suddenly, and without knowing how, Sophia was exactly in the place where everything had begun, in the park of fruit trees, waiting for the boy she liked to come and get her. Thanks to which, Sophia saw herself walking again in the company of the young man, and for the same reason, without thinking twice, she approached him in order to kiss him. The young man smiled again, although on this occasion he did it with tenderness, while bringing his lips to Sophia, who could feel her heart rising, waiting for what she had longed for, which to her frustration never came, because that was precisely the moment when Sophia desperately woke up from her sleep. This is how Sophia consulted me, because she perceived that the dream was communicating something very important about what could happen to her if she began to start a relationship with the young man she liked. Before going with the interpretation of this dream, I want to clarify that each person's dream is unique, and therefore, the generic interpretations made about dreams do not work. That is why the dream that you could have in relation to the person you like will not have the same meaning that you could find in the case of another person who dreams of the same. Because the situations, characters, as well as the meaning of your dream is associated only with your own life experience, and for that reason, of no one else. In this way, you already know. If you have had a dream with the person you like, which you would like to reveal its true meaning and the future that this dream is auguring for you, do not hesitate to go to the description of this video, where you can find all the information so you can contact me. When making the interpretation of the most important symbolic elements of Sophia's dream, I told her that the trees and apples that she could not reach symbolized she was experiencing a stage of her life in which she felt a huge emptiness that she could not fill with nothing, in spite of having a life that until that moment was presented as very beautiful and above all as very comfortable. For this reason, the presence of the young man she liked, in the case of Sophia's particular dream, came to serve as a kind of soul guide, so that she could find a way to achieve the satisfaction of her own desires, and above all, discover the way in which she could get to do it. If you look, each element plays a very significant role in the dream. For example, the image of the other Sophia, who is guided by the young man to another apple tree, or the moment when Sophia finally decides to kiss the young man she likes, to wake up suddenly and without doing anything to control it. All these elements mean something very relevant to the life of the one who experienced his dream. In the case of Sophia's dream, it was revealing to her that she was living a stage in her life in which she felt stuck in her personal life, despite the success she enjoyed in her professional field. Since, although she could satisfy all her desires on a material level, that caused her to feel a huge emptiness in her soul, which was gradually leading her to feel depressed because she thought that her life would only consist of working to obtain material things that did not fill her soul, because that was just what she had devoted herself to the most in the last years of her life. In this way, Sophia asked me what would happen to her with the boy she liked, and for this reason I explained that her dream was predicting that at one point she was going to talk to him, and that was going to happen in a completely natural way. But when Sophia did it, she would distrust her own personal value, because although she knew herself as a very bright professional person, she still had no clarity about what her strengths were as a person. And this would be precisely what would lead to the young man for whom she felt very interested at one point to doubt whether or not to stay with her. That's why I advised her to explore her own personality as a way to help her to discover what her strengths were and how she would feel more secure in preparation for the moment when she would finally get to talk to the young man she liked. Because clearly, this was a great sign through which her own mind was anticipating the enormous change she was going to experience very soon in her life. So you already know. If you want to know the meaning of your own dreams, and with it, what destiny holds for you, do not hesitate to go to the description of this video to get all the information on how you can do it. Remember, knowing yourself is the best way to discover the most valuable treasures you have, those that are at the bottom of your own mind. If you liked this video, please do not forget to like it, share it with your friends on social networks, especially if they have a premonitory dream that they would like to know its true meaning. And please, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and do not hesitate to leave your comment with any questions you have about your own dreams. You know that I will be more than happy to answer all of them. Have a wonderful day, and with it, the most beautiful dreams.